How's it going, everybody? My friends call me Boo Thuggins, and this is my story. Now, I got two parts of this story today. The first part is the first Super Bowl I ever remembered watching was the 1985 Super Bowl between the Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots. And I don't remember it so much for the game itself, although I went back over the years and I've watched that game many times on YouTube, just because it was a really fun game, and the memories of the occasion was fantastic. What made it fantastic was the fact that I had went over to my Uncle Johnny's house for a Super Bowl party. And when I went in, I was all happy because I was all dressed up and I had my brand new cowboy boots on. I just got them. And my Uncle Johnny, he had his brand new pair of boots on, and all his boots he went down to Amarillo, Texas, and had all of his boots custom made at a shop down there. And when I first walked in, we were talking about our boots and stuff, and he asked me, he said, who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl? And I said, very confidently, I was like, the Chicago Bears are going to win this game. And he started laughing, and he told me, well, that I didn't know what I was talking about, and that there was no way the Bears were going to win the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. And we started talking about it, and he bet me his boots against my boots. That was the bet for the day. We put our boots on the line, and it was, I had this thought that it was so silly that there was no reason for him to have my boots, because he couldn't fit in them because of his big old feet he had, and that I would never be able to fit into his boots because I never imagined that my feet would be that big. It actually took about 5, 6, 7 years before I could wear those boots without clumping around in them, that they actually fit my feet. But eventually they did, and eventually I did outgrow them and passed them on to my son, and who clumped around in them for years till his feet got too big for him. And the second part was actually the game itself. Although the first part, the best part of it was how mad my Uncle Johnny got and he gave me his boots, and he wasn't happy about it, but he gave them to me, and I was just tickled pink, to be honest with you, that I'd won the bet and acted like I knew what I was talking about. The fact of the matter is, the game itself was fantastic, and more so because the team that I chose was winning, of course. You think about that Super Bowl, who do you think about? You think about the greats, Walter Sweetness Payton, Mike Singletary, and they would do that close-up on him, and his eyes were so intense, and Jim McMahon, and for the weeks of the Super Bowl shuffle commercials, he thought he was just so cool. And then the big men like Dan Hampton, who went on to be in the Hall of Fame as well, and William Refrigerator Perry. And I thought, man, that was so cool. That was so cool to me that a big man was, especially just a monster defensive lineman, was getting to run the ball. And actually, I think he threw a touchdown once, not in that Super Bowl, but maybe not, maybe not. I don't remember. But I remember watching the old highlights of it, and he threw a touchdown. He ran for some touchdowns, or he road graded while Walter scampered into the end zone. And I always thought that was fantastic. But the guy we're talking about today that brought me this gorgeous piece of memorabilia that I have today to show you wasn't a player at the time. He was the coach, and I never, you know what? Especially during the game, I had no idea that the coach had ever played football. He just looked like a coach, and he looked like a big old manly guy. and which I liked and I respected, that mustache and chewing that gum. he'd be getting after players and referees, and I liked the guy. I thought he was great. And you probably don't know him from playing in the NFL, and you probably don't know him as a coach. You probably just know him as, you know, critically acclaimed movies like Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. No, just kidding. You probably just know him from Saturday Night Live, being on Bill Schwarzkop's Super Fans. The Bears, and they were all having a bunch of fat guys like me up there having heart attacks and talking about how they went to the doctor and they had a big old, I gotta pull the sausage lodged between here and here, you know, and I always thought that was real funny. And the Bears, and I thought he was great. Now I've got a lot of pieces of memorabilia, and the ones that I absolutely treasure. The ones I treasure the most are the ones where they do inscriptions and that shows a bit of their personality, their humor, you know, just something, you know. I always love the inscriptions that it showed some personality, some humor, and that's exactly what I got for you today, guys. I've got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful helmet from the Chicago Bears, and it is, as you can see right here, it's number 11 of 12, and it is signed by Mike Ditka, and says the Bears. That's his inscription, the Bears, which I think is just fantastic. The humor, the personality, just absolutely fantastic that he had the thought to do helmets with the Bears. And I think he's just fantastic, and he's in the Hall of Fame. As a player, more than being a coach, he was in the College Football Hall of Fame, and he played at, he was a Pittsburgh Panther. He's in the College Hall of Fame. His jersey, number 89, I think it was retired. His Chicago Bears jersey, number 89, the only number he ever wore in college or in the pros, it's retired. He won a Super Bowl as a player with the Dallas Cowboys. He was an assistant head coach with the Dallas Cowboys and won a Super Bowl ring. And he won a Super Bowl ring with the 85 Chicago Bears. And I think he's just a fantastic guy. And the more I find out about the man, and the more of his old clips of him playing football, he was just amazing. And he's an amazing player and an amazing person. And I love the fact that he had a sense of humor about things. And I love this. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's an Eclipse alternative Chicago Bears helmet with his name and inscription, Mike Ditka, the Bears. Until next time, guys, be good, like and subscribe. Thank you very much.